Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, and this video is inspired by Vet TV. I have not subscribed to them yet. I haven't watched it yet. I will. I just don't have time right now. Like I don't have time to fucking do anything. So I don't have time for Vet TV. But it comes to beg the question: why do veterans have such dark humor? Like there is the closest I would say that gets to a veteran's humor is maybe 4chan. And for those of you that don't know, 4chan is just the place where you go where you want to talk about shit that should not be joked about. And it's funny and it's hilarious. And it's unfortunate that certain things are funny, but that's the way it is. It offends people. And all right, whatever. If it's funny, it's funny. Most of the times, I feel like if you're laughing at something and somebody else isn't laughing at that something and they're like offended or whatever, that person who isn't laughing, they're not as happy as you are, the person that is laughing, that finds humor in a situation. Not that veterans are overall happy. I am because, well, mostly because of the LSD, repeated takes over and over, and But things in my life are good right now. Maybe I lost about $18,000 today on Tesla, and that kind of hurt, but it gave me a buying. I see when things happen, bad things. Either it's a lesson, it's a learning opportunity, it's an opportunity to buy, like Tesla, like stock went way down, I can buy. But veterans just have been through the fucking shitter. Like, 9 times at it. Yes. Yeah, alright, so it starts in basic, where you're just getting screamed at and yelled at. Like, it's not, like, hard. It just sucks. It's like, when, like, it's raining and you don't have a belt and your pants are sagging and just, like, it just sucks. It's just, like, there's some things that are fun. There's some things that are funny, but it's yeah, it's just like being told you're a piece of shit. Which if you're I guess 90s kid that you were told that anyway growing up. But so it starts there. It's like, okay, develop some thick skin, and then in tech school is kind of tech school is everyone's fucking great. But there's also a thing like, okay, you have like your Rumspringa first duty station, but everywhere you go, you are the bottom person. Like you are there, everyone's above you. Get to tech school, everyone's above you. Get to first duty station, everyone's above you for months, sometimes years, until new people come or whatever. And then you miss birthdays, you miss holidays, you miss graduations, you miss everything that you want to do that sounds fun. You miss because you're either like me in a critically manned career field, and a lot of the ops are 24/7, and you just cannot take off. You can't. You don't have that option. So you miss a lot of stuff, or bad things happen. Bad things happen once in a while in the military, and that's one of the best ways we learn how to deal with it. One is alcohol, but the other is humor. It's just funny shit, and just people say it. Like, I remember when 8-ball pool was really big. I guess it's made a resurgence. The kid plays it now with her friends, and when we used to play it, we used to become like savages. Like 101, me and this guy Hay would play, and I would beat him because I was really fucking good at it. And then he'd be like, "I hope your children are born without legs." Like, what the fuck? It's like okay, like fat ass. Like he's like, "I hope you don't wake up tomorrow." just shit like that. Like, I hope suicide finally gets you and you just murder yourself. And it's funny. Just shit like that is funny. You have the whole everyone's shooting off everything about everyone, like from like dead mothers and alcohol problems to gonna fuck your wife on deployment. It's just shit that like you really shouldn't joke about with anyone else. And this is why veterans have a hard time relating to people or talking to people or talking to like normal civilians about their things. Like talking to spouses or talking to people like friends that they met here. Like it's just very hard to do. I actually meet with my friend Teresa once a month now because we're some of the only people that can like talk about certain things that nobody else can talk about. And a lot of that stuff is just how you deal with it. That's it. So anyone that's not a veteran that wants someone that they care about that is a veteran to open up, do not take offense to that because it is something that is not your fault. They just don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't like talking to anyone about it, but it's just easier with other veterans because they've been through it and they've been where you were 9 times out of 10. Maybe not in exactly in the world where you were, but like some people have been to Iraq but not Afghanistan. Some people have been to Syria but not Kuwait. Some people have been to any of the things, and even though it's not exactly the same, it's like you still know that. Oh, you got in trouble for gambling too? Yeah, there was a spider and a scorpion, and we're just like, yeah, going at it. We're just like, get in trouble for gambling. Oh, got in trouble for taking, too many Rippets. Rippets are these little energy drinks that you drink and try to stay awake. Yeah, it's crazy shit. Like my friend Dan, I was hanging out with like 2 months ago, or a month ago maybe, and we were just going over shit that we did that we should have gotten in trouble for, and we didn't. And it's a lot of stuff. So anytime he's like, I feel like a lot of stuff like these military movies, they really glorify the military, which is great, I think, in a way that they do it in a way that makes people think military is a certain way, like the Captain America, like the always strong, always stoic, always just knows the right thing to do always. And that's just not the case. Like, you don't always know the right... People are human, and yes, military is held up to a higher standard a lot of times. A lot of times they should be, but sometimes they shouldn't be. Like, a friend had to make a really, really difficult call of going one way or going another. That person made the call of going that one certain way, ended up bad for, one of her battle buddies, and no one's fault. Like, sometimes it doesn't matter the route you take; it just happens. You couldn't have known, and some people they blame that on themselves. And I think, I don't know if that's an ego thing, because you can't blame yourself unless you think you could fix everything. And again, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But yeah, it's a unique club. COVID? No, it's not. It's a unique club. It's something that's very, you really don't understand unless you did it. And I'm not saying like military, the friends you make in the military are better than the ones you make outside the military before or after you join. It's just different. And those are the only ones that know that different thing. But again, as far as movies go, and I did want to touch up on that. I remember working with kids that... I remember working with people that joined because of 9/11, people that joined before 9/11, and then I started working with kids, 18, 19 years old. I don't want to say kids, heroes, because, risk your life for this country, hero, in my opinion. And they were like 4 or 5 years old when 9/11 happened. I was like, what? And now I have people in that say like they actually had have people in that they know that are in now that were not born when 9/11 happened. And I was like, that makes me feel so fucking old. I forget where I was going with this. Oh yeah, so the movies that they portray from 18 to however old you are, and again, sometimes they have like 60-year-old generals, and they have it so that they're a certain way, and a lot of times like we're not. Yes, when the time comes, we'll be who we need to be because we have to, but a lot of other times it's just us joking around. Like, it's fart jokes and piss jokes, and it's shit that should not be joked about. And that's veterans. Why are they like that? Because that's how we deal. That's just what we do, and best job I've ever had. It sucked. It was shitty. It was horrible. Kuwait was like 129 degrees, and I was like, oh my god, in complete everything, and just like, this sucks. And you want to come home, but as soon as you're home, you want to go right back. As soon as you get home, it's like culture shock to the max. Like, oh my god, there are fat people here. Oh, or I guess we play at reserve. Sometimes they're a little heavier. Like, there are like children here. This is where I haven't seen anyone under the age of 18, 19, in 7 months. And sometimes, like, when people say like they've been on a 7 month deployment, like, all right, I was in Kuwait for about 7 months. But I had the luxury of, as soon as I left my home base, my home PC, my home station, that's when it started. Where some people, like, let's say their deployment is in, let's say, somewhere in Afghanistan or Iraq. Iraq's probably a little bit better for this situation, and they have to wait a couple of weeks. So let's say they're in Kuwait, they're in Qatar, 2, 3, 4, sometimes a month before they get into station. So they have to wait almost a month before their deployment actually starts. And again, they're in another place, another desert, wherever it is, before they get there. And then their 6-month deployment starts. And then even if it's done, they have to wait for a flight back, and then have to wait for another flight back. And, a 6-month deployment winds up taking 8, 10 months. So when I say you miss a lot of shit, like in 2016, I missed Harambe dying. I missed most of the election process. I missed Pokemon Go, and that shit pissed me the fuck off. So fucking bad. There was killer clowns here. It was incredible. I missed all of it. I was near, or wasn't in there. I was just in the area when the Turkey had a attempted coup d'etat. I was in there with a bunch of other stuff, but veterans don't be offended. Don't mistake their dark humor for like arrogance. Oh, sometimes we're arrogant, but don't mistake it for like, oh, he's being very disrespectful. That's not how a veteran should act. How should a veteran act? Like, how should people carry themselves, especially if you have wounds, like, physical wounds? Okay, yeah, that's one thing, but like mental ones, some things you can't see, like invisible illness, like people carry around like really, really not good stuff with them, and it manifests in different ways, and that's just how it is. And I try to never judge. I really don't. Maybe stupid people on Twitter that don't think Tesla is a good vehicle, I will judge them a little bit. But outside of that, I really don't, because everyone's experience is relatable in the military, but it's different. So that's what kind of video I wanted to make today on that. If you see some of the dark sense of humor, know that it probably manifested from some sort of pain. That's how they deal with it. So that's that, guys. I love you. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Let me know if you have any questions or suggestions on it. Honestly, I'm at the point now where suggest something, I'm going to fucking do it. I did a fucking thing with why men's G-spots are up their buttholes, so I will literally do anything. All right, I love you guys. Bye-bye.